Good morning. Today is Wednesday and done my hair today. I'm channeling a new look from, basically I've been watching a TV series that it's not new. I don't know when it first came out, but it's called All Creatures Great and Small, and it's based on the books written by James Herriot many years ago. And there was a TV series back in the 70s or something, but this is a more modern series, and there's a character called Helen, and she wears her hair in plaits around like that. And I've got dungarees on today that I got for my birthday. It was my birthday on Monday, and I got these basically because, oh God, that's really bright, oh my God, can't even see, let alone you seeing me. Basically, Lily knows that I love Helen from All Creatures Great and Small, and she basically suggested that they get me some dungarees for my birthday so that I can channel my inner Helen vibes. So I'm wearing them today because I am going to be doing, not farmer duties as Helen does in the TV series, but I'm going to be doing some gardening. So these are my gardening dungarees. So they're not like I wouldn't just wear them, although to be honest I quite like them, so I might just wear them just because, but they are, the purpose are like overalls. So I've actually got trousers on underneath my dungarees, so I've got those on today. But anyway, beside it was my birthday on Monday, and it was okay. Won't go into details because there's just no need, but by the end of the day I went to bed early. I had a really lovely start to the day. I got some lovely presents. I got my dungarees. I also got something that I've wanted for a long time, which is a letter opener. So I'm such a weirdo, honestly, but that's me. So a letter opener. I've just always wanted one. So now I can, you know, open my letters with my letter opener. And I got so I've also wanted one for ages, a velvetizer, because I drink a lot of hot chocolate. So I've got a velvetizer to make my hot chocolates with, and my friend got me a lovely book. Everything's in a bit of a muddle. What have you done there, Fred? Donna Ashworth, who I've followed on Instagram for a long time, and if you don't follow her, go and follow her now, because she just shares a lot of wisdom. But this is To the Women, and it's just lovely. So if I this is a good one. Making do. I wondered where all the good things were. I thought maybe they were passing me by, despite my constant searching of the sky for their arrival, so I busied myself with survival. And year by year I waited for them to land like glittering jewels in my upturned hands, until eventually hopes began to wane. Perhaps I'd misread the rules of this game. It was then I realised, as sparkling rays cut through the cloudy skies, that the good things in my life had already arrived, right in front of my eyes. They were the things with which I was making do, the messy, imperfect loves and the ugly, hard-to-share truths. They were me and they were you, fields of gold and waters blue. Just really nice wisdom. Oh, this is a good one. To the woman who is slowly fading away. To the woman who's lost her spark, to the woman whose get up and go has well and truly gone, this is for you. This is to remind you that you don't have to be everything to everyone every day. You didn't sign up for that. Remember when you used to laugh, sing, throw caution to the wind. Remember when you used to forgive yourself more quickly for not always being perfect. You can get that back again, you really can. And that doesn't have to mean letting people down or walking away. It just means being kinder to you, feeling brave enough to say no sometimes, being brave enough to stop sometimes and rest. It starts the moment you realise that you're not quite who you used to be. Some of that is good, some of that is not. There are parts of you which need to be brought back. And if anyone in your life is not okay with that, they are not your people. Your people will be glad to see that spark flicker back. So if you've been slowly fading away, my friend, this is the time to start saying yes to things that bring you joy and no to things that don't. It's really pretty simple. There's so much wisdom in there, just nice words. She has nice words. So yeah, my friend got me that one. I love it. But yeah, so I had a really lovely start to the day. Nice presents. The children made me cards. Then I went out with my friend, the one who got me that book, and we went to a garden centre, and that was really lovely. But the afternoon went downhill, and I won't go into it, but it meant that yesterday I needed a decompression day, a day to just switch off my phone and do nothing. And so what I did do, because I wasn't just about to do nothing, was, and I haven't finished yet, but I don't know if you can quite see, this is the beginnings of a little conservatory, like a little model thing that I bought for myself ages ago, but I just haven't had time or whatever to do. But yeah, I started building that. This is my temporary seed station. I'm going to be putting all my trays of seeds here because this is the lightest part of the house, so I'm going to put loads of seeds. But anyway, yeah, so I started doing that, and I literally spent like 6 hours just doing that. Dropped the children off at school, came back, started that, really just was enjoying it, and thought, yeah, do you know what, this is what I need. It wasn't a very productive day in terms of getting anything done in the house, but I needed to decompress after the end of my birthday. So I'm feeling better today, to the point that I have plaited my hair and put my face on and got dressed and whatever, and I'm going to have a nice day. I've got some bulbs to plant, like not bulbs, but they've already sprouted, of bluebells. I feel like it is my duty as a British citizen to plant and nurture and get spreading of bluebells, because they are a beautiful national flower. I mean, not a national flower, but a flower that, you know, is very British, I think. So I'm going to plant them, and I must get my dahlias, my tubers, planted. So that's today. And I've got lots of emails to catch up with, because I didn't do any on my birthday. Didn't do any yesterday, so I've got to do that. It's dull. What else do I need to do? There's quite a few things. I've got some heather I need to plant. My friend brought round some little cyclamen that she'd, no, not cyclamen, I can't think what they're called. Crocuses, that she's just got billions in her front garden, so she dug up a few clumps, so I'm going to plant them so that they can all spread year on year here. So a lot of outdoorsy things today, but I feel like there was something else and I can't think what it was now. Something indoorsy. I need to put my sourdough in the oven. Good tip, stop it always rolling. Nothing worse than the, you know, just keep rolling, just screw it up, and then when you lay it out, it then stops the rolling. Now, I forgot a step with this, so I don't exactly know how well this is going to turn out, but I'm hoping not too bad. Just not very good at sourdough, I have to say. I just can't quite get to grips with it, but do put that in. Right, well, that's in. We'll just have to wait and see. The last one I did wasn't too bad. There's only a little bit left, and it's edible. You know, it's got holes and things, but it's a little bit dense. And I think it's because the kitchen, when it's doing its sort of rise bit, it's just a bit cold, and so it just isn't quite, I don't know what. So what I need to do is find ways of making it warm enough. You can get like proving boxes, but they're just so big. I don't know what to do. So what I did in the autumn was I planted a whole load of daffodils, which they're just poking through now. And obviously that'll be spring colour, early spring colour, when they all come up under the trampoline. But I just want some bluebells. They'll come through in about May. And they'll just, I don't know, it's just a very British thing, isn't it? Bluebells, I think, anyway. So I just feel like, you know, they're a protected thing. And so if I can have some in the garden, it's just helping to preserve British flowers, I guess. So, just a couple, and they'll spread over the years. So I bought 3 pots, but each one has got a few bulbs in. And hopefully they'll do well under here. Just, as I say, do them a bit with British flora. There we go. So there's some daffodils and some bluebells under there, and then they'll just, you know, once the season is right and temperature and whatever, you just have ugly trampoline but with some nice colour underneath, mimicking as if that's just the shade of a tree and the little bluebells underneath. So I'll keep you updated on that. Oh, I need last year I grew some dahlias and they did really well, but I bought like patio container ones, so they just sort of grew to like this size. These ones are going to be big, so I'm very excited. So they start off in pots, but then I will be planting them in the borders later on. I've just been to get my seeds, the ones that need doing now, and also the crocuses. See, she dug up a whole clump and I'm going to plant them. I'm not entirely sure where, but I'm going to do seeds first. So what I'm going to do, first of all, I use compost, grit, and I don't know where it is. some vermiculite, oh, here it is, as my seed mix for seedlings, and that did really well last year. So I'm going to do that now. Put compost. This is we bought loads of compost last year. And this is the last bag. And then moving forward, we've been composting our food and green waste and cardboard, whatever, over the last year or so. And that is now ready. So once this bag is used up, we can just use our own homegrown compost, which will be better than buying it for various reasons. So I do like half compost, oh God, frozen, half compost, then half grit. Where did I see that? Oh my God, that's heavy. And then good couple of handfuls of vermiculite, and then give it a big stir. And it just means that the seeds can, like, it's just free draining because of the grit. And last year I started off with all good intention and I did this, and then by the end I was like, oh, I can't be bothered. But the ones that I planted in that I can't be bothered and just used compost didn't do well. So this year I'm gonna make sure I bother making a little recipe all the way through. Now, just need a tray. Right, so sweet peas first. They just like to be buried down a little bit. These are left over from last year. These are purple varieties, are Harry, those purple ones, but there's not many, so I will have a half and half selection in this tray. What I need is a little dibber, or whatever they're called. I think I did have one, I think. I can't remember. So then I can know exactly how deep. And then these I bought this year. These are incense mixed, or incense. So it's pinks and purples and whites. So okay, so that's one. So that's going to go back up in the house. That. I need to look through my seeds again and work out what's what. Super. What I need to do is feed my starter. Got to do it yesterday, so it's probably going to be a bit unhappy. There's not enough to do anything with, so we'll leave that. 50 grams of water. Of flour. And in about 4 hours that will be nice and bubbly. Nice. I need to make some hummus, but before I do that, I thought I would share with you the different ways that we are green as a family. So I'll start off in the kitchen. So the first thing we do is we recycle soft plastics. Now this isn't a revolutionary idea, obviously, but I just want to share the different ways that we are green and sustainable, but also the tools. So obviously recycling soft plastics isn't a revolutionary idea, but this is very good because it's called Holy Shrink. Full disclosure, I was sent this, but that's not why I'm sharing it. I'm sharing it because we do use it, and I would definitely recommend if you don't already recycle soft plastics, don't rush out and buy one of these. Just start recycling them. Just get a carrier bag and stuff your soft plastics in there and just get started. But if you are already somebody who does it and are sick of the bags and bags and bags, this is really good because what it does is compresses them all down just by force. There's no mechanics to it, but it just compresses it down, and then when it is full you undo it all, and then you get these little sort of compressed bullets of soft plastic that are just easier to manage and then take to a recycling centre. So recycling soft plastics. We also compost. So as I mentioned, I will be starting to use our compost now because it's been going for long enough that it's actually giving us some good compost. So I have a little compost caddy, and it has a little charcoal filter thing that just stops the smell. So it does have air holes, but it has a charcoal filter that stops the smells coming out. And despite being, I won't show you inside because it's really, really disgusting, it does not smell. So that lives on the worktop. The next thing is the products that we use for washing up and multi-surface spray. We use, it's on the side, Smol, S-M-O-L, Smol, and I really like them. They arrive in, I'll show you, the washing up liquid comes in almost like a milk carton. It's recyclable cardboard, and the idea is that you buy this once and it will last you, you know, a long old time, and you just refill it. So that's that system. And then this, again, you get this, but then the little refills are, oh, now it's got a child-proof thing, and it's just going to be like me-proof as well. I'm not going to be able to do it. Oh, do you know what? I can't be bothered. So inside are little tablets, and what you do is you just drop one in when this is empty. You drop it in, fill it with water, and then you let it dissolve and give it a shake, and then that's ready to use again. And I really like these. So they're eco-friendly in terms of the ingredients, but also the fact that it's a refillable system, reusing the plastic rather than buying new washing up liquid and new bottles of spray or whatever. I really like those. They also do washing machine stuff. I didn't really get on with that, so we don't use that, but for dishes and surface spray, really like Smol. In terms of the rest of the kitchen, the way that we are sustainable is by making our own food from things that we grow, or just buying healthier ingredients and making our own, rather than always buying packaged foods. So it's healthier anyway, but also just the amount that we recycle week on week has gone down a lot, in terms of we don't buy it in the first place to need to fill up our recycling bin. So making our own is a better way to avoid all of the packaging that food comes in. If I do buy food, I do try to stick to seasonal food. So for example, right now it is March. I do not buy strawberries. Strawberries are not a March food. So, you know, it's not going to mean that the supermarkets don't put them on their shelves, but I personally am not buying into let's have all of the food all year round, because that's not what seasonal, you know, you're not meant to eat strawberries in March. You're just not. And it just means that they're using heating and methods to produce this crop all year round that is just not good for our planet. So seasonal foods definitely is something that we try to stick to. That's the kitchen. I can't think of anything else. Oh, well, I will show you. Hang on, is it in? There's one in here. I got tired of all of the plastic Tupperware things. So this is a Pyrex Tupperware, if you like. And this is silicone, this little seal, but the lid and the base are glass, and that is just better because obviously glass is a recyclable material, endlessly recyclable as well, but also it doesn't you know, leach into the food as plastic does and contaminate your food. So that's just better as well. But moving on, a bit noisy in here because when the light goes on, the fan goes on. We use Wild. Now actually these have been a bit in the public eye recently, which I want to come out, because Wild are rumoured, and it's a strong possibility, to be being bought out by Unilever, who are huge producers of plastic products and not very eco-friendly products. But for the time being, we're sticking with them because they are just really good. You know, you get refillable. So this is a metal shower gel thingamabob, and you just get little refills, which actually I have one here. So you get a little refill with a metal lid, and this is I can't remember what it's made of, but it is a recyclable, it might be like bamboo or something, I can't quite remember what it's made out of. But that just goes back inside the container there. So Wild for our shower gel is the first thing. Into my bedroom, I also use their deodorant, which the same idea applies. It's a metal tin, but then they come with little what, you know, like recyclable inserts that you just, you know, pop in. Why is that not focusing? There we go. So I really like the smells and the whole idea that you just reuse the tin. I also have one of their lip balms. Again, it's a metal container on the outside. It just has a refill thing that you pop in, but the actual, watch it, is metal. So that is another sustainable product. Like I say, bit of controversy around Wild recently, so we will see whether I stick with them or I go to somebody else. But in the meantime, Wild is a good sustainable, you know, reuse the container solution for these things. The next thing is clothing. So 2 points on this. We try to save energy or conserve energy and limit energy consumption as a family anyway. So we make sure that we don't have lights on unnecessarily. We have smart bulbs that will turn on when we ask them to turn on and then we will turn them off. We make sure that the heating isn't used unnecessarily. I mean, heating costs a fortune these days, so that is also a saving ourselves money situation, but also just that energy, the electricity to power our home and the gas that powers our, you know, radiators or whatever, comes from somewhere. So it's just limiting it and trying to not be wasteful. Water as well is just making sure that we're not using water unnecessarily. So especially in the garden, the amount of flowers that we have and fruit and vegetables, we have water butts. So we make sure that we save water, you know, and if I fill up a jug of water at dinner time and it doesn't all get used, I will then water the plants with that. But back to clothing is that we use layers. We layer up rather than going, oh, I'm really cold, put the heating on, put another layer on. Heat yourself, not the room, is really our motto, or my motto that I've put on everyone else. So layering clothing rather than wasting energy unnecessarily is a big thing. And we have blankets and you know, nice, like what do you call them, those like a giant hoodies, you know, fleece lined, to keep us warm individually, because actually some of us run really hot, so I particularly run quite cold, so I would have the heating on all the time, whereas other people might be like, it's sweltering. So just heat yourself rather than the room. And then yes, clothing as well is tending towards sustainable and natural fibres, so cotton layers, which actually keep you warmer than you know, polyester or whatever, and just trying to be mindful about what we buy in terms of clothing. So one, we don't buy into fast fashion anymore in terms of, oh, this is on trend, I've got to have that. Oh, this is the latest jacket, I'm going to have that. No more of that. I am wearing dungarees, a roll neck and a fleece. I mean, this is, you know, like a farmer, and it's absolutely fine because this is a layer keeping me warm. These are practical dungarees and this is another layer keeping me warm. I don't care if I look fashionable or not bothered. Am I comfortable? Am I wearing something that is practical for the situation, appropriate for the situation? That's all that matters. So no more, oh, I must look fashionable, which I am completely guilty of in the past. No more of that. So we don't buy into fast fashion in terms of keeping on trend, but also we don't buy from brands who take advantage of their workers or don't use sustainable materials, you know, that are just damaging the environment with their practices. So Sheen, whatever it is, Shein, no. And again, I am not guilt-free. I have bought from them in the past before I really knew the impact that they are having on the planet, and I hold my hands up to that. You know, I'm not some sort of perfect, look at me, I'm perfect. I recognise that I have been bad in the past, but moving forwards, aiming to be better. So we don't shop from places like that. But what we do anyway also is, if we do need something new, you know, say my jeans are ripped and I need a new pair of jeans, I don't buy new if I can help it. You know, it's not like I never buy new, but vintage is great, because if you're buying secondhand or from a charity shop or, you know, Goodwill, wherever, you are stopping the, you know, every time you buy something, the shop will go, you know, it'll tick a box somewhere that'll go, oh, we need more of that because somebody just bought that brand new pair of jeans, we must replenish the stock. And so they will make, you know, the supply and demand, and as long as people keep buying that new stock, they will keep, the demand is still there to replenish and keep buying more, and all, you know, and then so much goes to waste every year. I mean, oh my god, I could go on, but if people stop, if people keep you know, shopping on Vinted and just sort of like recycling and, you know, spreading it around. Obviously sometimes you do need new things, but then if you've saved a whole load of money because you bought second hand, when you do buy something brand new, you could maybe spend a little bit more and buy from an ethical company. But I can't remember the last time I bought anything new. I love Vinted. I love getting second hand if I need something. See, the problem with Vinted, and this has become a thing on Instagram, instead of the people who are going, oh look, you know, I've been shopping in Primark and I've got this new, my clothing haul, they are now doing Vinted hauls. They're still buying more than they possibly could ever need, because they're doing this, you know, social media haul. It's like, oh my god, you don't need any more clothes, whether they're brand new or they're from Vinted. Stop buying clothes. You just don't need them. You just do not need them. So it's sort of, don't buy clothes unless you really need them. Then, can you buy it second hand? If you can't get it second hand, who could you get it from that is not trying to destroy our planet with their terrible practices? You know, that's what we're living by now. That's clothing. The next thing is period pants. We use, there's 2 of us in this household now, reusable period pants. My favourite brand, and I have tried a few, I've tried Waka. It stands for Wake Up Kick Ass, Waka. And Cheeky Wipes, I've tried their ones. And there's another brand, Moddy Body. I've tried all of those, but actually my favourite brand is Snugs. They are really very comfortable, and they just feel like they're just not as heavy feeling as the other brands. Snugs, S-N-U-G-G-S. I'm thinking they're just UK, but have a look. Snugs, really nice, comfortable, and yeah, instead of, you know, plastic products being used all the time, which I actually was just like allergic to. I'd have a reaction every month. I'd have this like reaction to. Now just pants, much nicer, go in the wash. And you know, once upon a time when my children were in nappies, I used reusable nappies as well, which I know freaks a lot of people out, but it's, once you get past the, you know, the initial bit, it's, you just get used to it and it's fine. But yeah, just washing them, you know, and then they're good as new. Of course, I cannot forget to mention mending. This is my to mend pile. Just sew the hole. Don't be like, oh, it's got a rip in it, I'll have to throw it away. Buy new. Just mend it. Make, do and mend. That was the motto for a good long time, and that has been lost. Now people just discard it, get rid of it, and then buy new. I don't. I will sew that sock, sew that leggings. Just keep mending it until it really does fall apart, and then you replace it with Vinted. Talking of mending, I cannot forget to mention upcycling. So this was an upcycle. It used to be a grey, and I sanded it down and painted it a nice creamy colour. Got it for free. Someone was just gonna get rid of it, take it to the dump, and now it lives in my kitchen and I adore it. This, where my seed, you know, this black unit here I bought that brand new from Dunelm a very long time ago, and it was cream, and I just didn't want it anymore how it was, so I painted it black, and now it lives in the kitchen again. Very nice. These cupboards are a great example of upcycling. I mean, it's not even upcycling, it's actually reusing materials. We had, when we moved in our utility room were some wall cupboards, and I didn't want cupboards on the wall, I just wanted low down ones. So we took the cupboards off and broke up the cupboards into, you know, just the sections, and used the wood to make cupboards. Reusing what you already have instead of buying new. Oh, there's so many things in this house that I've just got for free, and then I've just painted them, or they just exist as they are. You know, if you need furniture, you don't need to buy cheap stuff. IKEA, you know, they sell some, I mean, some of it is Kallax units. I kind of just, you know, they are brilliant, but I feel like it's not. I love reusing old furniture. These chairs, for example, are underneath these are absolutely falling apart. The leather look like stuff is falling, disintegrating, but I just covered them with chair covers, and they look good as new. And so it's just about not buying things all the time. You know, could you make do and mend something, or, you know, sort of buying a new thing, could you go on a reuse Facebook group or on eBay or whatever and get something secondhand and then upcycle it? So, you know, that's just a few of the ways. I'm sure there's a lot more ways that we are green as a family, but I can't, nothing springs to mind, and that's enough to be, you know, going on with. But I really enjoy it. I enjoy the challenge, if you like, of, you know, we're so used to convenience. We're so used to being able to click a button and the next day something arrives, or, you know, oh, I really need a new chest of drawers, so I'll just buy this cheap old thing. No, don't. Just wait, you know, see if you can shop around, make do without for a while until you can find one. You know, Lily needed a bookcase, and it was about 6 months before one came up that I could, you know, that's just for free, and it meant that that bookcase that she's got didn't go to the dump. We have rescued it, you know, and I've done that. There's my chest of drawers in my room, my dressing table. There's so many things that we have rescued to make do. I mean, in the polytunnel, the white, like, potting bench thing was in our shed when we moved in. It was in the shed as a desk. We didn't need it as a desk, so we just put it in the polytunnel. And the little, there's a, I don't think, well, you might see it as you just walk in the door, there's like a chest of drawers. That again was in the shed with all tools in when the previous owners lived here. Well, I now use it to keep gardening stuff in. You know, it's falling to bits, but it does the job. And, you know, it does. Yes, if you want a picture perfect home, then yes, go and buy everything from the same shop and have a beautiful aesthetic. But to me, there's beauty in having old things that you have breathed life back into, and you know, put your own stamp on things, and that you've rescued something that otherwise would go to the dump. And I just think there's something beautiful in that. So yeah, there endeth my sermon on being green. I'm gonna make some hummus now. I hate hummus, but the children love it. If they love it, then that is what I've got to do. And if I'm gonna insist they have homemade things, I've got to make sure I actually make the things. So I need 1/4 cup of lemon juice, and quarter of a cup of tahini, which I'd never even heard of it before, but it's, what's wrong with my thing? It just won't focus at the moment. Tahini, which is sesame seeds, essentially, all gross. And like, I don't know, it smells like peanut butter. Sesame seeds, all blitzed up and gross. That. Blitz that up. Right, then some crushed garlic, 2 tablespoons of olive oil, and half a teaspoon of salt. How much cumin is it? It is a half a teaspoon. Oh, that's a lot. Fire. Half of the chickpeas. And then the other half. Then just a bit of water. Perfect. Pop that in the fridge. And that will last a good few days. Right, what I need to do now is just tidy up before I go and get the children. I've still got another hour, but I haven't done any work. So I need to tidy up so that when we get home later, it's not an absolute bomb site. Bird seed. It's just a bit neater. Okay, just this side to do now. Tidying up would be so much easier. Oh, by the way, my bread it's quite a good one, but it's still quite flat. But it's a bit constructed, but it's very fluffy. So I'm calling that a win. But yeah, tidying up would be so much easier if I was a tidy as I go kind of person, but I'm just not that person. I'm a make all the mess, tidy it up at the end kind of person, and I don't think I will ever change. It drives my husband mad, because, you know, he's just like, why can't you tidy up as you go? You're making 2 jobs out of 1. I know. But that is who I am, and he knew that when he married me, so what can I say? That's coming along nicely. There's another one. So not just glass Tupperware, I also bought some metal ones because again they don't absorb food particles, odours, and therefore don't put the odours back into food. So these are really good. I can't remember who they were by. There's the lids. A slice of green. Whoop. You see that there? A slice of green. So yeah, they're really good. I like those a lot. Right, that will do. Right, so I now need to go and get William's dance stuff. I've got the girls already. And then I have got to make a start on my emails, and I also need to look for a birthday gift for somebody that William's going to a birthday on Sunday. And then my sister is getting married, so I need an outfit for the hen do, and the theme is black, so I need to look through my wardrobe at some point, but I don't think that's going to be today. It's now 2:15. I'm going to spend about half an hour looking at my emails, so I'll leave it there. So I hope you enjoyed the looking in the garden, seeing all the different plants I'm planting out. So at the moment there's daffodils poking through, tulips poking through, the snowdrops and the crocuses are already in flower. And cyclamen is in flower. Other than that, there's nothing at the moment, but the daffodils will be coming through soon where I've planted them under the trampoline, so I'm excited for that. And then tulips I've just planted everywhere in the borders, so I'm excited to show you when they come through. I'm excited for me to see them, let alone you. But otherwise, yeah, I just do love being in the garden, so expect a lot more of me in the garden for the next however long until it's time to not be in the garden again. And I'll let you know how my sweet peas come along, hopefully maybe not by next week. Well, yeah, maybe by next week I might have a little bit of a green shoot to show you on those, and I'll see what other things I could need to plant. And but otherwise, yeah, I'll leave it there, and I will see you again next week. Bye.